And we're recording. Okay. So I want to start out by saying how proud I am of you guys. I just checked the updated tracker and we have already donated 504 meals with the Thrive Nourish. And that is just literally insane. I remember our last one, if you were around at this point, we had one by Christmas time. I think it was with Toys for Tots, and it pumped us up so much. And I love that we can come together as a team and know where we're giving back to and just know that it's going towards something amazing. I was going to have, I don't know if she's on here. I was going to have Kylie. I might have her go live super quick in the team page a little bit later. She did some back research on it. Why do you do this every time?
Because first off, you're out of breath because you're talking too fast.
I'm excited.
I'm going to go get the step from my dad's house. I'm going to show you.
Okay.
Look at that grass. You can just stare at it while you're doing
That's
that
great,
video.
baby. Let me do
Doesn't it look
this.
good?
So I'm going to have
dogs chewed up the watermelons, by the way.
I'm going to have Kylie go live and probably talk about this because she did a lot of back research on the testing we've done and the beta things they did before starting it and exactly where it's going and the schools it's running through for giving back. She is a researcher. So if you ever think you're dying of an ailment or there's a weird bump on your body, you just message her. She can research anything. And also, Jen, she called the hospital here to ask about the Zika virus, just so you're aware. So if you ever need any research done, ask her. But she did a whole back research on it, which was amazing. And she called me and she told me all this stuff. So I definitely want to have her go live and talk about that. I don't even know of a goal to shoot for. I'm not sure how long it's going on for, but I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated. So thank you for partaking in that. Don't forget to tell other people about it too. Customers can do it. It's not just us. And after they do it, I had a lot of people asking, how do you know where it's going? We don't know the exact location, which I think is for safety reasons, but you will get an email after you purchase that gives you an example of a child that it's going to and kind of just what it does. So I think that is awesome that it's literally been launched for a couple hours and we already have generated that much. I love y'all's souls and I love that we get to give back together. So I wanted to start off with that. And I also just shortly want to talk about tonight, really learning how to take ownership of your business. And I feel like this is something that we don't always talk about. And I will touch on some things that I do, bring up often and are really key points in my leadership and my training. But I feel like we don't talk about this enough and how important it is to know that your business truly 110% is in your hands. It is a reflection of you. And although you have leadership and we have the tribe and you have training videos and this and that, you are a business owner. Your business is your sole responsibility. And the second that you step in to treating it like that and knowing that it can be a direct reflection of your effort and your growth, it changes so much. And within network marketing, we hear this all the time, it's not ever an upline's responsibility or a leader's responsibility to make you successful, but we do have bomb leadership and we do have a bomb team page. And I can promise you, even from doing the social media boot camp that I did, there are team pages that don't even have training videos in them. There are team pages where you literally sign up and you're on your own. So I count our blessings every day that I know that we set you guys up for success. And I know that you have everything you need, but also I always say, it's up to you what you do with it and how you apply it. One thing I love about the team page is that we have so many different leaders that go live, so many different ranks that go live, so many different people that go live and do trainings or make posts or do inspirations. So always know that you will always be able to find somebody that speaks to you, whose training you click with, whose post you click with. And I think that that's an amazing opportunity that we do have to be able to get leadership and training from different people. But know that from there, it's what you do with it. So something that I do with myself, and I've talked about this before, I call it the mirror check with myself, and it's stepping in to take full responsibility of your business. So let's say, maybe you're not having the amount of enrollments you want, or you're not talking to the amount of people that you want to a day, or you're not getting as many people to follow you back, so on and so forth. And you have these different things, and you're like, why am I not having this success? Why is this not happening? And when those things come into your mind, or you're not where you want to be, that's when I want you to have that mirror check and make proactive steps to own your own business. So if you're thinking in your head, okay, well, I'm following this many people a day, or maybe I'm not following enough, or my audience isn't growing, or, I'm not really having people engage on my post, this and that. learn how to kind of train yourself and say, okay, well, if people aren't following me back, like, what's a reason why somebody wouldn't follow me back? Maybe I need to work on my photo editing. Maybe I need to work on finding a preset or a filter. Maybe I need to work on doing more personal posts, that make sure I don't look like a sales ad. You have to check yourself with stuff like that. So if people aren't following you back, go look at your page and say, would I follow this person back? Or, do I just think I'm going to be sold to? Is this somebody I could relate to or, get along with? So always know how to bounce back and forth with the ownership of the business. If you're not signing enough people, are you connecting with enough people? Are you adding enough people? Are you, sharing your life? Are you going live? Like, always ask yourself, okay, this is my problem and this is where this growth isn't happening. What more can I do? Rather than, just sitting on the team page for hours and hours, find proactive things where you can take the training you've had and actually apply them. So, for me, over the past week, I didn't enroll a lot of people. We were on vacation. We were away. I still posted every day, but I was like, okay, why have I not enrolled anybody? And I realized that I hadn't added anybody new in like 5 days, which is very unlike me, but I had to check myself and realize, okay, well, I'm not growing my network. I'm not bringing new people on and connecting with new individuals. So that's why I'm not signing new people. So even at every level you're on, you have to check yourself, so do you need to revamp the way your page looks? Do you need to go live more? Do you need to maybe dive into some more self-development so that you're able to be more open about what you struggle with or what you share or your goals or dreams? Like, ask yourself what more you can do, and never think that you have to reinvent the wheel. If maybe you're not having the enrollments you want, so on and so forth. Double your efforts, put more effort in, and take ownership that this is your business. And when you do that and you don't blame outside factors for not being where you want to be, it changes so much. And that can be in every aspect of your life. Like, that's something I had to do a year ago. Yeah, it had a lot to do with the business I was in. But also, I wasn't making the best decisions and I wasn't surrounding myself with the best people. And on a day-to-day basis, I wasn't having a routine that was growing me. And I was in a really crappy place. So I had to decide what I was going to do differently every day to change things. So ask yourself, what do you need to do differently to get to where you need to be? Because if you're not up leveling and you're not growing, your business isn't going to grow. Your mindset isn't going to grow. Your paycheck isn't going to grow. So really work on mirror checking yourself, where you know that you have all the right training, you have all the support, but you have to put that stuff to action to grow your business and take ownership. And if you're not where you want to be, take ownership of that and say, okay, what do I honestly need to do more of every day? And have those vulnerable conversations where you can recognize maybe where you're lacking or you're not putting in 100% effort. And when you start to, you will see so many changes in your business. So know that it is your business. It is up to you. And, at where I am now, I can look in the mirror and say, I own this business. I have taken ownership of it. I have done blood, sweat, and tears and put into it. And some days I was really tired, and some days I didn't love it, and some days I wanted to quit. And some days, my paychecks weren't as great as they were, but I never gave up on myself because I took ownership of it. And I said, this is my business and these are my goals. They're nobody else's. Nobody else is going to do it for me. How do I need to step up? And when you start to step up and you start to show up and step outside your comfort zone and really say, what can I do more of, or what can I change and work on? That is when your business starts to grow. Let me read this question really quick. I completely agree with the going live thing. However, it's only been 2 weeks. And if I go live, nobody ever tunes in. Should I just keep trying? Yes. So when I first started going live, I think my first live was probably a year and a couple months ago, maybe. I didn't have a lot of people on my lives whatsoever because my Facebook network was very, very small. When you go to my on this day thing, I maybe had 3 likes on a Facebook post a year ago today. So you can see how much has grown in a year, and just know that every day that you do things like going live and adding people and engaging, it's going to grow your network. And you never know that, the one person you might add next can go to your page and watch a live video, and maybe they sign up with you the next day because they related to you or they connected with you, so on and so forth. So if you're not getting the response that you need, don't just stop doing them. Or if you're not getting enough likes or enough views, that stuff doesn't matter. If you're just consistently showing up and growing, it's going to grow over time. You just have to trust the process. Because, I could have stopped posting on Facebook a year ago and continued just working Instagram because that was kind of what was bigger for me at the time. But now, 95% of my business comes from Facebook. And yeah, I had to post for a couple months, 6 months with only getting likes here and there, but it will grow. You just have to keep working at it every day. So that is what I had. Just really take ownership of your business, take responsibility of it, and know that you have the power to get yourself to where you want to be. You just have to stick with it and keep up leveling and keep growing, and learn that it's okay to mirror check yourself sometimes and say, hey, maybe I need to work on this in my profile, or maybe I need to work on the content I'm sharing, or the people that I'm adding, or the way that I'm interacting. There's always ways to change stuff and evolve. So make sure that you're constantly checking yourself and constantly up leveling. 1 second. Do you recommend Instagram versus Facebook Lives? Just because I know Insta Lives don't save on your page. So I lack in the Instagram live arena. I don't know if we have anybody that does a lot of them. I think I've done one, and it's not that I have anything against them. I just don't want to go live in 2 places. And my dog ate my iPad, so like I can't have them both in front of me to like go live, because you can have like 2 devices and go live on Instagram and go live on Facebook at the same time to kind of do a double whammy. So if that's possible for you, definitely do it. I don't think that one is better than the other. I personally get more engagement on Facebook. But that's just because I do have like good following on Facebook. I do on Instagram too, but I don't think as many people are on while you're live, if that makes sense. So that's a personal thing. I kind of want to dabble more in it to see, but just have trial and error. Like if you notice that when you go live on Facebook, you get a lot more responses, like dive into that. You don't have to forget about Instagram, but just really focus on what gets you results and then evolve with it. Do you post your 3 steps every day as in like an Insta story? Does that draw people more and more curious? Yeah. So I'm not selling on my Insta story every day, or I mean, I connect it to my Facebook story also, but I'm not like selling like, oh, hey, like, do you want a sample or do you want to buy? I don't do that every day, but I do show up in my story every day with some form of the product. So whether that means it's a boomerang just of a DFT on my hand, or this morning I made a lifestyle mix and a cafe like mocha frappe, and I showed how I made it. Like I'm not always selling, but I always show up displaying the products and using them, so that when I do those stories or those posts about samples, or like today I am doing like a free giveaway of a DFT pack with purchase, like when I do show up then and do that, I've sparked their curiosity because they've seen me using the product every day. So that's personally what I do. And I think Katie does the same thing also, because I always see her posting about like her shake and stuff in the morning. Okay, Katie, are you ready for me to bump it to you? I see you're reviewing your notes. Okay.
Okay, so I love that we're talking about 2 totally different things. And before these trainings, we kind of always scramble them together. And I always try to like go through my notes or find or listen to YouTube. And I sat here and I'm like, okay, I want to deliver something tonight that is just going to be like my advice. Like I wanted to give you guys something powerful. And I sat here with a pen and paper and I'm like, how did I get here? How did I get to where I'm at? And the only 2 things that came to my mind was consistency and believing in myself. And I feel like those 2 things make or break your success in network marketing. And so many people, they lack self-confidence. They lack that consistency, or you're consistent for 3 months and you're not where you want to be. So you just want to call it quits. So I broke it down into 4 things I want to talk about. So the first thing is, I haven't taken a break from building my social media and my brand in 4.5 years. So thank God it's gotten better and better. But, when people think M. Hastings, they don't think of just MLM. They don't think of someone who's just successful on social media. They think of all those things. Like I think of wine. I think of Dogmon. I think of crazy Oklahoma weather. Like those are things that all tie into her brand. So when people think of me and they go to my page, they don't just think, oh, she's an MLM girl. She's trying to recruit me. She's trying to buy my product. One, you're never going to see the words buy or order or join me on my page. Never, because that's not what I want people to know me as. So even back in the day, like with my social media, when I had absolutely no money to my name, time when me and my son would go on walks, that was on my social media. If we would go out to eat at Chick-fil-A, like I was showing those things on my social media. If we went to the zoo, if we, went to the park. So you don't have to have this life of like, oh my God, I travel all the time, I'm on an airplane. Like, you can share your everyday experiences with your social media. If you were to scroll through my page the past 2 years, you know how many pictures you would see of me and my son at the park? And 9 out of 10 women join me because of pictures with my son, because of the freedom I have and the freedom that I've always wanted to create for him. So what else you're going to see through my social media with all of those things? You're going to scroll and you're going to see someone who has incredible energy. You're going to see someone who's paying off debt. You're going to see someone who's open and honest that they haven't planned a wedding in 2 years because they couldn't afford it. All of these things I'm talking about, some of you are probably like, wow, this is repetitive, it's boring. This is how I've built a 6-figure business. This is how women trust me on social media, because I'm honest and I'm vulnerable. And your featured photos on your Facebook, like that makes or breaks it. That is the story to your life. You're going to see my family. You're going to see what I'm passionate about. You're going to read my bio and know that I'm a Christian, that I'm a boy mom, and I own it. And that I am just a hustler, and I'm not afraid to share that with my social media. So one, don't ever look at my social media and think that it's perfect. It has taken a lot of work over the past 4 years. So one, I've never taken a break from building that. Two, I'm so constantly reminded of my why, and I always have been. It literally boggles me when you guys, like, you're in your first 2 weeks, you're ready, you're in this big positivity bubble, and then like your Uncle Tom said it was a scam, so like your whole life's ruined and you just want to give up. Like, I'm sorry, but the word give up, like, that's not in my dictionary. Like, hashtag, that's a big no. I would never, like, giving up on this business is literally looking my family in the eye and saying, sorry, my work ethic is not there. You guys aren't worth it. I'm going to take an L and just sit back, and our dream life is never going to happen. Sorry, but like you have to be laser focused on what you want. For years and years and years, months that I was making $300 a month, I looked in the mirror and I had Post-it notes that said, I am debt free. When I had my car repossessed, I looked in the mirror and said, I'm going to make 6 figures. Like, over and over and over again, I manifested my mind to believe, even though my bank account might have been in the negative, I looked in the mirror every day and told myself exactly what I wanted. So you have to speak life into the life that you want. It doesn't happen overnight. And I'm sorry to tell you, but the struggle is a part of it. The struggle of finding yourself and discovering yourself. You're going to have moments. You're going to have moments where you want to cry and say, you know what, is this worth it? You're going to have moments where your friends look at you and say, you're really going to do that? You really think you'll be successful? Those kind of friends, get them out of your circle, because they're not taking you to your next level in your life. The third thing is I discovered that what I was doing was different, and I owned it. I think a lot of you guys, and it's okay to admit it, I think that maybe you're a little embarrassed that you're in network marketing because maybe you're not at the top, or maybe you're not making money or have the life that you want, so you feel like you can't post about it. Let me tell you what I did. One, not only did I learn manifestation, I got educated. Like, I can't even begin to tell you, when someone starts a job, what do they do their first 2 weeks? Doing training. They put you with someone who's successful already, and you learn and you learn and you learn and you take tests. I learned. I got my hands on GoPro by Eric Worre, and my life was changed forever. If you don't want to read, fine, cool. But, I know that I'm not going to get to the next level. I'm not going to become the best leader. I'm not going to be the best, teammate for my girls unless my mindset's always growing. And I don't think you're going to get anywhere if like your mindset doesn't get right. And before you get all these social media skills from M and you learn how to edit your pictures on Pictgo, if you can edit your pictures, cool. But if your mindset's not right, you're not going to get anywhere, And I learned in the beginning, there was a lot of haters. There was a lot of people who said mean things to me. There was a lot of people who made jokes. And as I got more educated and the success started coming, I didn't hear them anymore. And at first it used to stick in my mind. I'd be like, well, I want everyone to believe in me. All these other women are successful and I'm going to get there. And I learned, you know what, Katie, if you want to get to that level, you have to stop feeling like you have to prove yourself to the people who don't believe in you, and you need to start surrounding yourself constantly with people who believe in you, because that's when you're going to rise higher. That's when you're going to grow, and that's when you're going to get around women who believe in you. It is so draining, you guys, if your group of friends are not visionaries, they're not dreamers, they're not doers. They sleep in every day till 11 o'clock, watch Netflix all day. They don't go to the gym. They just eat like crap all day. Then they go work their jobs at night. That's your crew, cool. But I don't want that kind of crew. I want to be around women who want to be successful, who want more out of life. And when you get around that, your text messages, who you're talking to, that is so important every day. You know, what is coming out of your mouth, like that is where you're going to go in your life. So if you're always gossiping about people, if you're always saying out loud, I'm broke, I'm fat, I'm struggling, I'm never going to get ahead, don't expect your life to change. You have to start loving yourself and believing in yourself. Like I said, there was a time where my car got repossessed, and every day I looked in the mirror and said, I'm going to make 6 figures in network marketing. Who cares if it took me 5 years? Why would you not work 5 years to look your husband in the eye and say, go put in your 2 weeks tomorrow? Why would you not work 5 years for that? Like, I literally don't understand. God damn it. Like, my dream, like it makes I get pumped up. Like, I was watching on the news today, an NBA player from our hometown, Victor, I don't know how to say his last name, Odolipo or something. He is a Pacer starter, and his whole life, every coach he had, his dad, his friends, his family, told him his basketball career wasn't good enough. He wasn't going to go anywhere. He should just give up and call it quits. And now he is one of the most successful NBA players. Not everyone's going to believe in your dream, and you have to accept that. Your vision did not get put in their hearts. It's in your hearts. And I promise you, the moment when you start loving yourself and believing in yourself and pouring into yourself, you're going to get so dedicated to working your business, because you're going to get addicted to the result it's going to produce. When you get a customer, and then you get an enrollment, and then you get a promoter, and your check starts growing, you're like, wow, that consistency of that time that I didn't give up, it's paying off for me right now. So the fourth thing I want to talk about is your goal should never be to just get a scattered like sponsor in. Your goal should, like your goal when people are in your inbox, you should not think, oh my gosh, I have to sign them up today. They have to give me their information today. Your goal is to educate, to get people to understand, you know, what this can do for them, how you can change their life, and make people feel like they need you. I felt when I started following Em, I literally, like, I felt like, I can't begin to tell you, I didn't join her because she's pretty and she has blonde hair and her picture editing skills are great. I joined her because of the way she made me feel. She made me feel like she was going to take me somewhere in my life that was better than where I was at now. And your social media, you guys, there's so many women on your social media who look like they have it together, and they have thousands of likes on their pictures, and they're in $40,000 in credit card debt. So many people put on this show, this highlight reel on social media. Half of those bloggers, they're getting their shit for free, and they're broke as a joke, okay? You can never judge someone by your social media and who has it all together. Just because someone has likes on a picture doesn't mean they have a fat bank account or that they're adding value to other people. There are so many people hurting out there that need what you have your hands on, but you're too intimidated. You think they would never join your business. Wake up, okay? Be confident in what you have your hands on. Be vulnerable and be honest with people. That's really all I had. I think I went through that pretty quick, but if you want to bounce off that in, you can.
Yes, definitely. Okay. So, and something I hear all the time to bounce off of that I think is so important, along with everything that she said. And I hear this like daily, from people on this team, that they don't know what to post, or they don't know who to be, or they can't sign anybody because they're not successful, because they don't like make money like I do, or they don't travel like I do, or they don't do this and that. And that is literally so far from the truth. I cannot even tell you. I can promise you that 95% of people on your social media will relate more to your struggle than your success. And that is where, you know, yes, I show my lifestyle and I show my travel and I share like what I've grown to be, but people don't relate to me there. They relate to where I used to be. And yes, I'm here now, so that's inspiring, but you can be just as inspiring sitting in that struggle and speaking up and saying where you want to be. Because maybe they're in the same place that you are and they're too afraid to speak those things out loud, or they're too afraid to dream that big. And if you say, hey, you know, I might not be at the top yet, I might not be here yet, my bank account might not be great yet, but I'm can work for it and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there, and I have my hands on what's going to get me there, that's what's going to inspire people. That's what they're going to want to be a part of with you. So yeah, I can show them a nice pair of shoes I got, or I can, say what I have in a savings account and inspire people. But what they relate to is, I'm sitting in a house where my name isn't even on the house, because when we got this house, my credit score was a 510. And my apartment history was so bad because I couldn't pay my last 2 months rent. So my name, literally, I'm not even on this home. You know what I mean? So that's what people relate to, is that they relate to you wanting to better from where you are. So you have to get vulnerable and you have to share where you are. And like she said, you cannot be embarrassed. If somebody thinks it's funny that you're dreaming big or that you're working for yourself, that's not people that you want in your life. If somebody bettering themselves and wanting to change stuff and wanting to build a future and get out of debt and put money in savings, and you found a vehicle to do that, and somebody mocks that or they think that it's funny, that's not your people. That's not who you want to surround yourself by. And like Katie said, you have to be very picky with who you surround yourself by. I don't have a ton of friends here. I don't, because I don't relate to people my age, because they dream small and they've accepted struggle, and what I do seems crazy and they just can't understand it, so they make fun of it. I don't have time for people like that in my life. And even at this level, I still have people that call it a pyramid scheme and still mock me and still do this and that. And that's why, quite frankly, I don't hang out with anybody in this state besides Kylie, and that's because she works the business with me. And I love her, and she gets me, and she's fighting to make her life better. And that's what's important, is you have to surround yourself by those people and stop being afraid or embarrassed or all those other things, and just get authentic. Get on social media and share where you are. And people are going to watch you go through that, and they're going to watch you rise. And even when they get half a step behind where you are, they're going to be like, crap. Like, I remember when a month ago she was posting about that credit card, and now like she made a payment to it, and I still haven't made a payment to mine. That's what people relate to. So the more authentic you can get and the more honest you can get, and just increase your efforts and share. Get out there and share. That's what people are going to relate to. You don't have to have this huge success story, because what people relate to about my story is my struggle. That's what people relate to. Katie related to me because we had the same struggle. It's not the same success. So definitely remember that. I think that's all I have, but just try to step out of your comfort zone this month. No goal or dream or anything you have is too big, but you have to up level with it. If you're going to dream big like that, if you're going to put that on paper, you still have to put in that work to get there. So ask yourself how you're going to grow, how you're going to up level, how are you going to change this month to give more of yourself to this business to help people. And I promise that will change everything. That was like the quickest training we've ever done. We're at half an hour. So I love you guys so much. I hope that y'all took notes. This was amazing. It is recorded, so I'll get it on the team page super quick. Thank you for hopping on tonight. I hope that y'all have such an amazing night. Bye.